Welcome to my tarot space, Delulu Lightseers bar. Today, I prepared something gentle for you, something your soul has been waiting to hear, a message from his soul to yours. I'm going to show you 4 different piles, 4 energies, 4 doors your intuition can walk through. Inhale, take your time. Don't rush. I'll give you 1 full minute to choose. Let your breathing slow down. Let your mind quiet. And let your soul decide which pile is yours. If you feel drawn to 2 piles, that's okay. If you feel called to 3, or even all 4, trust it. Sometimes the heart speaks in layers. Sometimes different messages belong to different men, or different timelines of the same connection. Follow your pull. Follow that subtle tug inside your chest, that quiet whisper that says, "This one." Relax your shoulders. Take a slow breath. Feel which pile is reaching for you. I'll give you a moment now. Choose with your intuition. And when you're ready, we'll begin. I want you to hear me just for a moment. Breathe with me. Not the version of me you created in your mind. Not the hope. Not the fantasy. And not the excuses you whispered to yourself in the dark. I want you to hear me. The real me. The truth I never said out loud. The truth I never had the courage to face when you were still in my life. You think I didn't care. You think I didn't feel anything. You think my silence was emptiness. But the real reason I stayed silent is because everything I felt for you was too much, too heavy, too complicated, too overwhelming for the man I was. On the outside, I looked strong, stable, grounded, a man who held everything together. But inside, I was overloaded, exhausted, carrying pressure from every direction. Work, responsibility, fear, and that quiet belief that I didn't deserve love at all. I knew how to survive. I didn't know how to love. And I didn't know how to receive the kind of love you tried to give me. Then you came into my life with warmth, with softness, with a depth that felt beautiful and terrifying. You touched places in me I kept locked away for years. I felt everything too deeply, and instead of opening up, I hid behind work, behind duty, behind the only world I knew how to control. Work never asked more than I could give, but you did. Not because you demanded. You never demanded. Your heart, your tenderness, your presence, all of it made me want to give more than I was capable of giving. You saw me as a king of pentacles, but the truth was, I was lonely, emotionally dry, tired in ways I couldn't explain. I didn't know how to let anyone in, so I stayed distant, and you felt unloved. When you left, I saw it coming. I felt you slipping away long before you walked out. And still, I didn't fight for you. I didn't run after you. I didn't say a single word. Not because I didn't care, but because I believed losing you was safer than ruining you. You deserved tenderness. You deserved consistency. You deserved a man who could be emotionally present. And at that time, I had none of that inside me. When you chose someone new, I told myself you were better off. I imagined you happy, healed, finally receiving the love you wanted. But then your beginning turned into disappointment. What looked like a blessing became heartbreak. And even though it hurt me to know you were hurting, I understood why. You tried to find in another man the emotional warmth you tried to awaken in me. And when that failed, you looked back toward the past, toward us. But by then, I had already shut down. You found a man closed off, guarded, weighed down by regret. I didn't turn away because I stopped caring. I turned away because I finally understood. I had nothing left to offer you. But your story wasn't over. Someone new stepped into your path, colder, sharper, more logical, a king of swords, a strategist, not a dreamer, a man who doesn't beg, doesn't collapse, doesn't make promises he can't keep. You didn't meet him by accident. You drew him in because you changed. You became wiser, stronger, more discerning. You learned boundaries. You learned self-respect. You learned to choose yourself. You became the woman who doesn't chase, who doesn't beg, who doesn't try to heal another's brokenness. You became balanced, powerful, awakened, and I saw it. Even from a distance, I felt it. Your strength, your clarity, your rising energy. You think your life is standing still, but it isn't. You're aligning with a new path, one that brings stability, success, and protection. Your intuition sharpened. Your heart became calmer. Your spirit clearer. You became someone I always admired, but never deserved. And what waits for you now is not loneliness, but real happiness. Not chaos, not coldness, not disappointment, but a steady, grounded, mature love. A connection that builds, not destroys. A future that grows, not collapses into old patterns. Your destiny is shifting. Your luck is turning. Your path is opening. And this time, you don't need to chase anything. What is yours is already coming toward you. Softly, steadily, inevitably. And this time, it will not slip away. You are safe now. And everything you lost is returning in a better form. And if you chose the second message, then this voice, this story, this soul is speaking directly to you. I want you to hear me. Slowly, gently, the way truth should be heard. Not the version of me you imagined, not the illusions, not the excuses you once told yourself to survive. I want you to hear me, the real me, the man behind the silence, behind the fear, behind the mistake that changed everything. I loved you more deeply than I ever showed, more quietly than you deserved, more honestly than I was able to admit while I was still alive, or still beside you. You were important to me. You were the meaning in my days, the warmth in my evenings, the calm in my storms. Even when I seemed distant, even when I acted cold, you were the one steady light inside my world. People called me a lucky man, a man of opportunity, someone others admired, someone they wanted to follow. But they didn't know me, not truly. You did. You saw the exhaustion behind my strength. You saw the longing behind my pride. You saw the fear behind my silence. You were the only person who ever looked into my eyes and actually saw me. I loved my life with you. I loved my family, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, the land that raised me, the home that shaped me. I loved it all. And at that time, it felt like I had everything I could ever need. But I didn't understand how fragile life was, how quickly it could fall apart, how easily one mistake could break something sacred. I never planned to betray you. I wasn't searching for anyone else. I wasn't unhappy with you. I didn't want another life, another woman, another story. And then she appeared. A woman who pushed her way into my world. A woman who studied people the way a predator studies weakness. She watched me. She waited. She approached me with confidence that wasn't confidence, but obsession. I brushed her off. I avoided her. I pretended not to notice, but she didn't stop. And I was blind. To this day, I cannot fully explain why I agreed to meet her. I felt nothing for her. No attraction, no excitement, no connection. I thought she was simply curious, a restless soul fascinated by anything new. One time, and then I forget. That was my mistake. A moment of weakness that became the turning point of everything. She lied about who she was, about her life, about her past, about her intentions. She created a mask, successful, confident, charming, but behind that mask was emptiness, instability, a broken mind that envied every bit of happiness she couldn't create for herself. She wasn't new to this. She had destroyed families before. She pursued successful men intentionally, men who were loved, respected, admired. She wanted the lives they had, the women they treasured, the homes she could never build. Wealthy men dated her briefly, and every one of them left. Every one of them returned to his family. Every one of them saw through the illusion in time. And with every rejection, she cracked a little more. She became more toxic, more manipulative, more dangerous. She didn't know how to forgive, and she didn't know how to let go. She destroyed what she couldn't possess. She ruined what she envied. She used people as tools to wound others, and when she saw me, she chose me. Not out of love, not out of desire, but out of obsession and spite. You felt her darkness long before I did. Your intuition warned you. Your soul knew. You sensed the danger I didn't recognize. And yes, she broke our life. She shattered the trust we built. She poisoned everything between us. She separated me from my family, from my home, from the light inside my chest, from you. And then my illness came. One day at first, then another, and another, until my body weakened and my time became shorter than I expected. I saw the fear in your eyes. I felt your heart breaking, even while you tried to stay strong. You worried more for me than I ever did for myself. You carried pain heavier than my own. You prayed for me. You hoped for me. You cried when no one saw you. My greatest dream, the one I never spoke aloud, was to grow old, to live long enough for my hair to turn silver naturally, to see wrinkles appear at the corners of my eyes, from years of laughter, not pain, to hold your hand when we were both old and tired, and feel peace settle between us like a warm blanket. But life had other plans. I know how much you suffered. I know what my betrayal did to your heart. But the past is unchangeable, and all I can do now is speak the truth I never said. I am at peace. I am in a place without pain, without fear, without confusion, a place where nothing hurts anymore. But you are still alive. You still have a future. You still have a chance to love, to heal, to rebuild. Please, don't cry because of me. Don't let your life freeze in the shadow of my mistakes. Don't let grief steal the years I can no longer live. Live beautifully. Live fully. Live bravely. And there is something I want to tell you. Something final. Something true. Something I couldn't say while I was with you. Be happy in this life for both of us. Be happy in the years I didn't reach. Be happy in the joy I can no longer feel. Be happy with the love I couldn't give you, but always wished I could. I am grateful, deeply, endlessly grateful, that you were my last love, my heart, my peace, my woman. And even now, I am still yours in spirit, still near, still watching over you, still whispering love from the quiet world beyond. Always yours. Always. All right, love. We're moving to the third option now. Pile 3. This message is for you. This is what his soul has been wanting to say, what it never said out loud, but feels even now. Breathe with me for a moment. I want to tell you what my soul has never said out loud. What I hid, even from myself. This is what the soul of your man wants to confess to you. I was a career man. Ambitious. Driven. Always pushing forward. Always trying to be the one people admired. And you know, I succeeded. People respected me. They looked at me with admiration. Sometimes even envy. But now, I feel sadness inside me that I cannot shake off. Nothing brings me joy the way it used to. Luck, the luck I always relied on, is slipping away from me. And somewhere deep in my subconscious, I feel the reason. I know that fortune turns its back on me because I did not value you. I fought with you. I manipulated you. I tried to outsmart you, compete with you. Outwardly, I seemed respectable, polite, controlled. But inside, I carried beliefs I never questioned. I thought men were smarter, stronger, wiser. I enjoyed the attention of women, but I did not believe they could be my equal. Not truly. And with you, I was harsher than I should have been. I argued, corrected you, lectured you. I thought I had the right to teach you, to be strict, to punish you with silence when you didn't act the way I expected. Sometimes I ignored you on purpose, believing it would make you wiser. I see now how foolish that was. And yes, I envied successful men. Men richer than me, higher than me, luckier than me. But the truth I never admitted, I envied you even more. Your fearlessness, your luck, your ability to rise after every storm, the way problems slid off you like water off stone. Any other person would have broken long ago. But you didn't just survive, you blossomed. I competed with you like you were another man, someone I needed to outdo, someone I needed to be better than. I didn't treat you like a woman I loved. I treated you like a rival I needed to conquer. I was stingy with emotions and stingy with money, especially toward you. I hid information about myself because in some twisted way, I thought I had to protect my life from you. I feared your mind, feared how deeply you saw me, feared that you could hurt me if you wanted to. So I shut the doors of my life in your face. I paused our relationship, thinking it made me strong. After we separated, I had fleeting connections, short, empty, meaningless. And even when a woman stayed near me longer, my heart treated her as if she wasn't there at all. I called myself single, free, untouchable. I worked. I chased money. I chased success. I tried to rebuild the life I thought I deserved. But now, 3 people at my job are digging under me, working against me, smiling to my face, plotting behind my back. And I lie to myself, pretending everything will be fine, pretending I will escape this trouble the same way I escaped every crisis before, telling myself I'm lucky, that luck will save me again. But the truth is, my soul sees what my mind refuses to face. For the next 3 years, I will be maneuvering through problems, running, dodging, trying to save my position, my reputation, my image. But 3 years from now, the real collapse begins. I will be cornered, pressed, and I won't find a way out this time. 2 more years after that, my soul will feel the weight of consequences. Not punishment from the world, but the reflection of what I've done. You want to know if I loved you. I don't even know if I truly know how to love. Years of chasing career, status, success, numbed something inside me. My emotions dried out. My heart forgot how to feel. What I loved about you was your luck, your energy, your strength. I wanted to take that from you, to claim it, to make it mine. And when we were close, I did enjoy being with you. You were warm, soft, comforting, beautiful in every way a woman can be. But I was selfish, a man who thought only of himself, a man who feared losing his career more than losing love, a man who bought people's affection with status, not with heart. If I lost my position, I feared even my own family would turn away, because I never earned their love. I bought their respect. You ask why I'm facing problems now, why fate has turned against me, why my soul feels heaviness. Because I harmed people, because I left them in ruins, because I took from them what I had no right to take. I erased their opportunities. They lost everything, and they prayed to the higher forces, asking for justice. So understand this. You were not the only one I hurt. The rest of my life, I will spend in regret, if I am capable of regret at all. And to you, to the woman listening to this message, I want to say one last thing. Be happy in this life, for both of us. Because even if I never knew how to love you properly, my soul still remembers you as the one person I should have treasured, always near you in spirit, always watching from the distance, always sorry for what I never understood in time. All right, love. Let's move to the next option. Pile 4. Who do we have here? Listen closely. This is what his soul wants to confess. I am the kind of man who lives in a quiet state of nirvana, a man who tries to create a small, peaceful happiness for himself, a private world, calm, isolated, untouched by chaos, a life without a woman. And this has been my reality for a long time now. But I didn't become this way by choice. I became a solitary man because I have no money. You need to understand this about me. I'm an aesthete. I love quality, good food, good materials, good surroundings. Not expensive brands. No, just things that are real, natural, well-made. I take care of my health. Sometimes I swim, sometimes I go to the gym. Not for beauty, but for survival, for well-being, for balance. I travel when I can. I try to live beautifully and tastefully, even on my limited budget. I do what I can to make life feel meaningful, but the truth is, I don't have the money to court a woman properly. And without courting, without taking her out, I become invisible to beautiful women. For some reason, women always see me as older than I am, or too serious, too intellectual, too complicated. At first, they find me interesting, but the moment they realize that I'm not going to take them to dinners, that I'm not going to spend money I simply don't have, they disappear. One by one, they vanish like smoke. But you are different. You are beautiful, luxurious, exactly the kind of woman I love, exactly the kind of woman that makes me forget my limitations and remember my desires. You are the embodiment of the woman of my dreams. And even though I value you deeply, even though I admire you, I cannot afford to bring our connection into the light of an official, open relationship. Not with the income I have, not with the life I live. You might tell me to find a simpler woman, someone less expensive, less radiant, someone who asks for less. But I don't want less. I don't want simpler. I want you. I want a woman like you, a woman who embodies beauty, fire, confidence, and elegance, a woman who makes my heart race and my soul feel alive. You are everything I ever imagined, everything I ever wanted, and the only thing I can allow myself is to meet you sometimes, to step, even briefly, into this miracle that is you. For me, that is everything. More precious than you can imagine. Don't think that because I text you rarely, I don't think of you. No, it's the opposite. I think of you constantly. You and my work, the two pillars of my world. But I'm afraid, terrified, that you will leave a man like me, a man with no fortune, no status, no grand achievements, because a woman like you, a queen like you, can attract any successful man she wants, a man with money, power, influence, a man who can offer you the world. And me, I am just a servant, pretending to be a magician, pretending to be someone powerful, so I can, at least for a moment, experience the life of a man who is loved by a magnificent woman. You don't know what it means to me, to simply stand next to you, to hear your voice, to feel your presence, to be in your light, even for a few minutes. I know my fear is irrational. I know my insecurity makes me hide, makes me silent. But my feelings are real. I like you deeply. I admire you. I desire you. And I fear losing you more than I fear loneliness itself. You are the woman who awakened something in me, something I thought had died long ago. A longing, a warmth, a desire to be more, to become more, to rise above my limits. But I am afraid that when you see who I truly am, a man with a modest income and a quiet life, you will walk away too. So I keep my distance, not because I don't care, but because I care too much. You are my dream woman, the one I wish I had the means to love openly, the one I wish I could take out, show the world, hold proudly by the hand, without shame, without fear, without limits. But for now, all I can offer is my sincerity, my admiration, and the truth of my heart. I don't see other women. I don't want other women. Even if we meet rarely, you are the only one who matters to me, and I hope, silently, that somehow you will not leave me behind, because without you, I go back to emptiness, to silence, to a solitude I never chose, but learned to tolerate. You are my queen, and I am the man who wishes he had a kingdom worthy of you. That was our reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it. No matter what this message brings, remember, your light was never lost. It's only waiting to be seen.